Good morning, everybody, and good afternoon, depending on where you are. If you're in Hawaii, I guess it's morning. But welcome to the More Listings Mastermind. This is a real estate podcast. We are on YouTube. We're on Spotify. My daughter, Brittany, does our Spotify podcast. You can check it out on your way to your next appointment. Today's April 8th. We've got a great show for you today. We meet every Wednesday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. You can join us live by going to morenowlistings.com. You do not need to register. Just show up every week. Share it with your friends, your family, everybody in the business. Again, my name is Robert Weichelt. I'm the host today. We have an amazing show. I'm super excited. There's a lot of talk about AI. I know a lot of agents that literally call me and they want to jump off a cliff because they're so overwhelmed by all the stuff that's going on. Do I need to do this and what that and this, that? And there's so much noise. So hopefully the goal today is to kind of funnel that noise into some production, showing you ways to, the AI driven funnels and automations and pipelines. And these are pre-built for realtors, guys. So our goal is to funnel you into something that's going to be nice and easy and smooth for you to follow along at home. So with that said, I want to thank everybody for jumping on, and we're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Robert Weichelt. I'm the host of the More Listings Mastermind. Again, we meet each Wednesday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. Super blessed to have been in the business since 1986. For those of you keeping score at home, that's 40 years. I just spent 40 years. I had my 40th anniversary in the real estate industry on February 14th, Valentine's Day. And I tell you that just because it just blows my mind how it's come from, writing a contract, literally almost using a pencil and 3 sheets, press hard. There's 2 copies to all this AI conversation and all the tools. It's gone so far from where we first started. I've had the pleasure of helping thousands of sellers, countless agents, achieve success in every type of market. I call it the ups, downs, and all arounds. The REO space, lots of the bank repo days of the late 70s, early 80s, to the stay alive till 95 glue stick era of the REO, and so much more. So I'm a broker, trainer, mentor, and my mission is very simple, guys: to empower others to grow, win, and lead with purpose. That's the goal. My specialty: I help agents take more listings by working with the lowest hanging fruit on the seller tree: FSBO, expired, and pre-foreclosure. And let me explain real quick. FSBO, they have their hands up. They're telling the world they want to sell their home. Let's have a conversation with those guys. Do you have the scripts and the conversations? Do you know exactly what to say to them to get them intrigued to at least meet with you? Expireds, they went through a 6-month relationship in most cases, and they're still, usually it's because of price. Let's just be very clear. These expireds need a seller. As the sellers, they need a listing agent that can walk them through the reality of getting their home sold for the highest and best price, not just tell them what they want to hear and hope and pray they get an offer. And of course, the default market. I'm very bullish on the default market. Not that I want anyone to lose their home, just so we're clear. It's a market that, if you pay attention to it, knows the defaults, knows the trustee sales. That's a big market. Pull those numbers up and look at what's going on in your market right now. You're going to need to really, really pay attention to that. All 3 of these different types of markets have a very special message, and it's very important you use that particular message. Working with the pre-foreclosure is going to set you up for the post-foreclosure, the post-REO, REO and distressed property. So we have a lot of knowledge in that space as well. So with that said, I want to welcome you to the More Listings Mastermind. And I have 2 questions. Are you working with AI right now, whether it be Chat GPT or some kind of different types of programs, lead gen? Real estate is about lead generation. Everything I do, at least everything I try to do, is about, am I going to be able to lead generate, get some business, buyers, sellers, investors, agents? That is the 4 groups: buyers, sellers, investors, and agents. I want to help agents grow as well. Each week you can join us, Power, Growth, and Momentum. This week's going to be no different. Now, I always like to start off with this quote. This fires me up more than anything. The only place success comes before work is in the dictionary. And the reason why I bring that up is because everybody wants the easy button. And today we're going to show you the easy button, but I think it's going to take some work to get it to where it needs to go. My dad told me this the first day I got in the business, February 14th, 1986. I'll never forget it. He's all, Bobby, that's what he called me back in the day. It works if you do. And we let that sink in for a minute. There's some great tools out there. but we need to apply some work. We need to roll up our sleeves and get busy. So with that said, why would you want to join each week? It's simple. We are all about taking more listings in 2026 and beyond. Each week we go over proven systems to win more listings. This week's no different. Generate multiple offers fast, cash offers. We got a coach on this call that's going to touch base a little bit about that. Maximizing seller profits, guys. I've never, ever met a seller that said, Robert, if you can get me the least amount of money for my home, I'd appreciate it. Never once has that happened. And here's the biggest thing I want to focus on: working smarter, not harder. It's not just a cliche. I can't tell you, I've always applied to the work harder, not smarter rule of thumb. And it's exhausting. So we need to make sure that we're fine tuning and taking advantage of all the tools. Every Wednesday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, you can join us live. No registration required. Just go to morenowlistings.com. A couple things before we get to our special guest. The 5 habits to grow your business starting today. Number 1, you might want to write these down: lead generation. No exceptions. We need to be lead generating every single day. I don't care what you're selling. If you're working with sellers, buyers, investors, or agents, we need to be generating business, whether making a phone call, whether it being a text, whether it being an email, whether it be some social media, AI, smoke signals. It doesn't matter. We need to be lead generating, number 1. Number 2, we need to track and measure, make sure that those things that we're employing are actually working, not just throwing a bunch of money at something and not tracking it. I like to track and measure how many calls I make, how many contacts I make, how many appointments I make, and how many listings I take, and obviously how many listings I sold. I like to track and measure everything. Here's one thing we need to worry about is setting appointments daily. A day without a seller appointment, or a buyer appointment for that matter, should be a red flag in our business. We need to be alerted. Number 4, follow up like a pro. We're going to talk today about some really great CRM tools and following up like a pro. 80% of conversions happen in the follow-up. We've all heard fortune is in the follow-up. How many times have we heard that? 1 million. And number 5, sharpen your skills. Role play, study scripts, really become a student of your game. Now, here's one thing I want to point out before we get moving on. Tom Ferry put out this, and it's amazing. When you're approaching expireds, 78% of sellers list with the first agent that calls. The first agent that gets in front of that expired is the one that they list with 78% of the time. I like those numbers, guys. Now, here's where I find my FSBOs, expireds, and pre-foreclosures. And I'm sure there's lots of different ways to do it, but this is who I use. They've done a great job for me. FSBOs, expireds, and pre-foreclosures. I put in the chat box if you want to check it out for 14 days. And if it works for you, by all means, do it. One word of caution: don't sign up for it and then wait 14 days to use it, because that's when they bill your credit card. So if you're ready to start calling FSBOs, expireds, and pre-foreclosure, I encourage you to sign up for it and do that 14-day free trial. Another free thing I want to show you is cash offers. Coach Kathy is on this call today. She's our cash offers coach. We have about 25 plus coaches, and Kathy's on this call. Hi, Kathy. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great.
Cool.
Love it.
You'll agree with me that cash offers is an absolute amazing and important tool. And if we don't have it, you're going to run across a seller that thinks they want a cash offer until they see that cash offer.
Yeah.
And so if you don't have that tool, and I know Kathy will talk about this in a quick minute here, so we'll go ahead, and I put that in the chat box too. But one thing I want to point out before we get started: have you tracked and measured your properties every time you take a listing? Have you tracked it on Zillow, for example? How many days on the market? 1 day on the market, we're getting over 3,000 views in 1 day on the market. Thinking, wait a second, that's kind of an incredible number. We put it under contract in 7 days. And if you know how I work, we do 7 days on the market without any showings. Then we allow Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we allow the buyers to transparently compete. We had just over 10,000 views in 9 days. Those are big numbers. The reason why I bring that up is because think about it. Are you getting that kind of traction to your properties? First the eyes, then the offers, guys. Here's one of Coach Kathy's open houses. I love this photo more than any photo I've ever seen.
I love this story. Yep.
There it is, Smarty.
Yep. I love it. She sent me that last year. I was like, oh my God.
And if you look at it, it was during Christmas. Oh, but Robert, the market, it's the holidays. This is during Christmas, guys. There's the snowman on the neighbor's yard. There's a line around the block. Kathy, correct me if I'm wrong. 884 people through the doors?
Yes, 884 people.
And my son and my husband was the one that died.
It's like
my husband went out and put out more than 30 signs to drive traffic to it.
Yeah, so
That's what he said.
my point in telling you that is awesome. My question for you is that the kind of success you're having at your open houses? I'll wait. I can tell you it's not. We average between 2 and 300, depending on which property it is. Nowadays, this is, a couple of years ago, there was a little bit more traffic. We're still getting a massive amount of traffic to our properties. And the best part is we're getting massive amount of transparent offers to our properties. This is a transparent platform that Kathy and I use, and it's absolutely a game changer in your business. And one last thing I want to bring up before we get started with our special guest, because I can't wait. Is your business efficient and effective? I do all of my listing appointments via Zoom. Carla and I traveled the country for just under 2.5 years in our RV, traveling all over 22 states. It was awesome. Taking listings from the road. I'd get a seller that was fired up about wanting to list with me. He wanted to meet right now. I'd literally pull over in a truck stop or a rest area off the freeway in nowhere, Dallas, Texas, and take a listing, pull the Starlink out, take a listing, jump back in and go. My point is efficient and effective. Are we doing the pre-consultations with our buyers, sellers, investors, and our agents, guys? So with that said, if you guys want to reach out to me, I'd be more than happy. I meet with agents literally all week, every week from across the country. If they want to drive more traffic to their properties, this is the way to do it. There's the QR code, schedule a quick meeting. And I tell you what, it'd be a pleasure to sit down with you. I helped a couple of agents this week that had no clue. It was just a couple of different tweaks, and I've already having some success. So with that said, Coach Kathy Ryan's on the call. We do a call every Friday. This is kind of our roll up our sleeves, let's get to work, accountability coaching. Kathy lovingly calls it Ask the Coach. This is where Kathy and I invite different coaches in our organization. I think we're at 25 now, last time I checked.
Yeah.
And this is where the coaches come in and say, okay, what do you got? What are you working on? What problems are you having? What's going on? Are you tracking and measuring? What are you doing to get business? It's just there's no real agenda so much as it is, what are you working on and how can we help? So Kathy, do you want to expand on this before we introduce our next guest?
Sure. There's a little bit of training. It's what, we're even Robert and I are holding each other accountable. Are we making our calls? What's working? What's not working? And it's your opportunity to ask us, okay, I'm not getting results here. Can you look at this and see why? And, usually we can within a minute or two. So it's really simple. It's your time. We're there, to volunteer our time. We're not getting paid for it. And that's one cool thing about our group is all 25 coaches are volunteering their time to help you grow.
And another thing, Kathy, if I could just add, I do a lot of mentoring, as you do too. I do a lot of mentoring, and I have agents that literally the only real estate they know is what they learned on their test. So they're brand new in the business. So I take great pride in being a certified mentor. Number one, it holds me accountable in terms of, because we get into a routine, us older agents, we're doing a lot of business. We're just kind of in our routine. Being a newer agent forces you to stay relevant. So I dig that. So Kathy, anything else to add about the more listings coaching on Friday?
Well, that's one thing. I've been in the business 34 years and I've had to reinvent myself. I don't know how many times. Every changing market, what you were doing to get business is not going to work.
Yeah.
That's why you plug into different things. And that's leading me to our guest today, Smarty. I met Smarty probably about a year ago, I think, when I started using the program there. And it's developed over time and changed. And Smarty, this program that he put together is insane. I mean, it is, you take Bull Trail, which is good, and it's, mainly for buyers, and you take Pro Edge and put that on double steroids after sellers. It's mainly you're working with sellers. You can work with buyers, but this whole system is like taking your business to the next level. So with that, Smarty, I'm going to turn it over to you, and you can tell us a little bit about yourself and get started and show us the Pro Edge system.
Well, thank you, Kathy. And Kathy's actually going to see a couple things she doesn't even know about. It's going to be a surprise for her because we're constantly evolving as a group. So I'm going to unveil something for you as well. But hello,
Great.
everybody. John Smart. Since second grade, I was Smarty, so you call me Smarty. It started with Smarty Pants in the back of the classroom, but in my branding, I'm known as Smarty the Realtor in Philadelphia. And my clients, all my branding is Smarty. So glad to be here. I'm a 37-year technology vet. So when I had a full head of hair, back in the day, I realized that commercial real estate, I talked to a couple big banks in Philadelphia, and I realized that these banks had no idea how their portfolio was being managed. And some of these branches was like Core States Financial that had 1,500 branches, and they didn't know how many they had. So I got into the software business. That was my degree in college, and ended up building the number one platform for commercial real estate. And I did a survey in 2026 last month of the Fortune 100 companies, in the United States. 97 of them still use my system to run their operations. So Starbucks, Apple, Walt Disney, all the banks, insurance companies, McDonald's, Starbucks, you name it. I help them optimize their portfolio. So I sold my company to IBM in 2011, and Ginny Rometty, the CEO, pulled me aside and said, "Smarty, we want you to be our spokesperson worldwide for AI." And back in the day, IBM built the number one AI platform, and still today it's the most robust. It's called Watson, and Watson is a supercomputer that corporations use with AI to run their operation. So I had the luxury of seeing the world on IBM's dime. So I was there from 11 to 18 when I retired. I saw 147 countries, and I ran around the world talking about what AI was going to do to the real estate industry. So that's my background and what I've been doing. So fast forward, I got my real estate license in 2020, just as a second part of my life, and realized that, the tools out there were scattered all over for real estate. So, I was using Bold Trail, and it used to be KB Core, and I had to sign up with Keeping Current Matters and Trello boards and Lofty and all this stuff that's out there. And me being a technologist, I said I could pull it all together and just try to really focus. And I also realized that realtors, most of them aren't technical. So how do I help a realtor that doesn't know tech and navigating through this world of tech and create something new? So we've created something really special here we're going to share with you. I ran into the technology underneath the hood is called Go High Level. If you haven't heard it, you're going to see some of this here. But we've really flipped the switch on the technology, because what we've created is not another software tool, but we created an ecosystem of like-minded realtors across the country. We have like 100 or more than that. We have now 270 in our CRM right now, from all brokerages that collaborate and work together, and they work with us to keep making it better. And as Kathy said, you and I met about a year ago. It's vastly different from last year to what we are today, because we're constantly making it better. As the industry changes, we tack and adjust with new things. As industry rules happen. So last year we had A2P hit, so you had to get your phone certified, or the world of email was going to break down. So I ended up building new mousetraps and new things for everybody, and I teach people how to live in the new world of technology. So that's what this is all about. So I'm going to just do a quick PowerPoint or slide presentation, and then I will, let me come over to here. Let me go over here. Here, 1 second. I just switched browsers. So let me get the right browser here for you. Here we go. And share again. There we go. So a couple slides that we'll talk about. So, as Robert was saying, as realtors, who wouldn't want more deals? And the other part of the equation is, who would in this Zoom would like to reduce their expenses of all these tools we're using? I think the average person that comes into our ecosystem, I was just with a realtor out of Seattle, and we did a one-on-one class. what I'd love to do is, did anybody see the commercials called Rocket Mortgage?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And Rocket Money, the mobile app. And what do? They interview people and say, open up the app. How many subscriptions do you have? Right? So realtors are all about the shiny object syndrome. So this woman, I had her open up her bank account and we looked at how many things she was paying for to be a realtor. And it added up to about $832 a month to be a realtor with all the tools she had. And her broker gave her a free CRM. So you start to look at the tools. We're all about lowering your costs of operating, being smarter in your follow up, and not chasing business. So this is what this presentation is all about. So to be honest, these are the typical threads of a realtor. We're all on the go, and I think Robert hit it. It's about speed to lead is everything now in 2026, but we're all busy, right? If you have kids at home, you're taking them to school or some event, or you're out showing a buyer 6 homes this afternoon, or you're having a listing presentation with a homeowner, leads still come in on a regular basis, but they're going cold very quickly because if you don't follow up, they're going to move on to the next realtor. And as Robert said, like an expired listing, the first person they talk to is the one they're typically going to go to a majority of the time. So follow up is very, very critical. The other thing that has been a trouble for a lot of people is making all these tools they have work together. So companies like Zapier came about and Make, right, that said, all right, we're going to build these API platforms to connect all these systems for people. So everybody invested in Zapier and Make to make sure that KV Core talked to Keeping Current Matters to talk to this product, right? So as all this havoc here, we all know that we're leaving deals on the table. But at the end of the day, it's not about you. It's not your fault. It's the systems that have been out there, and the technology hasn't caught up to really help people be more effective with one solution stack. So the big thing that's changed this year, and I'm not going to read all the slide here, but speed to lead we already talked about, and the instant follow-up. But the one that is very, very critical in 2026 is if you don't have ChatGPT and Perplexity and Grok and all these AI engines telling somebody when they're having a conversation that you're the realtor to work with, you're losing the game. Because right now, if you go to a Google search, 60% of the Google search now is AI. And if you look at what Google's doing when you do a search, the AI window comes up first and then it displays the other results. So it's not just about ranking up. In fact, I think every single CRM out there gives a realtor a website, and realtors also pay a lot of money. I had another girl that joined me in Tampa, Florida. She spent $6,000 for a real estate website, and she just paid the bill, and she was all proud of this beautiful website. And I said, let's do a Google search. And she was on page 16 of Google when I did a search for her, right? For realtors, right? So what good is having all this technology in a website if you're not being found by Google, is more importantly now with AI. So AI's got to be talking your game. And that's what this group is all about. So with our AI background and stuff, we're making sure that we build an ecosystem that you're found out in the world. So you start having opportunities come to you as opposed to you chasing opportunities the other way around. So I just picked up 2 listings this morning. The sellers called me. So they said, Smarty, I talked to ChatGPT. They said, you're the most AI focused realtor to sell this big home I have. Your name came right up top and I want you to list my house. So I didn't even have to have a listing appointment. They called me and I sent them a DocuSign and they just signed the listing appointment with me to sell their house. That's what we want to get to as realtors in 2026 and beyond with the AI engines. So come in here, with our system. It's all about follow-up, booking appointments. I'll skip through this because I'm going to show it. I'm going to go through, if you're not familiar with Go High Level, I've used every CRM in the planet. So I'm an EXPer. And when I joined EXP 5 years ago, they gave us KV Core, which is now Bold Trail, right? And they gave it to me for free. So as Bold Trail or KV Core, I used it, but I'm a technology guy. I'm like, it's really lacking a lot of things. I had to spend my money on 11 other systems to run my real estate business here in Philadelphia. So I had everything from Trello boards to Calendly to Keeping Current Matters and all these tools. And about 3 years ago, I ran into Go High Level, and I was like, oh my God, I found my new home for now what I could do. And in the acquisition of Go High Level, I white labeled it and started building it out with a lot of capabilities. I was able to fire all 11 subscriptions I had, which equated to $1,350 a month with one single platform to do my entire real estate business. And that's what this is all about. So, at the end of the day, leads come in, but what's different with this system now is I no longer have to talk to people to book appointments and close deals. Robert said the importance of making outbound calls, and that's still important in my system, but my outbound calls are warm calls, not cold calls. Because in my world, in Philadelphia, we have inside the CRM, you born your AI assistant inside the CRM. So you call it whatever you want. My girl's Chloe, and Chloe is my partner in crime. Chloe now responds instantly to every interaction of sellers and buyers that interact with me here in the Philadelphia area. So when an expired hits I also use my plus leads. When an expired hits my system, Chloe's doing outreach immediately. And oftentimes we'll send a text message and that seller will call the number. Chloe picks up the number, even though I'm out at a listing appointment or not available, or I'm doing a masterclass with Kathy's group, right? So we're doing these masterclasses. So that instantly part comes in and Chloe takes all my phone calls. She makes phone calls for me. So I've reduced my no-shows at the houses and my buyer activities almost to zero. Because I taught my AI employee, my Chloe said, when you book an appointment for me, an hour before the appointment, I want you to call the homeowner and say, hey, Smarty's on the way over. I just want to make sure you're still going to be there. If not, we'll reschedule. So warm touch to the seller, has that conversation with the homeowner, and then I show up and close the deal. So at the end of the day, she does the first 4 boxes, and I do the one on the far right, which is closing deals. So this morning I woke up, I had 2 listing appointments today, and I had a buyer consultation at lunch. And they were all handled by Chloe, and I didn't talk to a single person. Now, what's also fun with the world of AI is there's like 65, no, there's more than that. I think there's like 160 now voices inside of the CRM. And you could also upload your own voice. Every single appointment I went to last week, the homeowner, when I knocked on the door, they said, Smarty, I thought you were bringing Chloe to the appointment. And I had to warmly say, no, Chloe's an AI assistant. She's not real. And they're like, oh my God, right? She talks to people. Now, when she talks, she says to her, hey, I'm Smarty's AI assistant, or she'll say I'm automated assistant. So she'll introduce herself as AI. So we're not trying to, put a rug over somebody, right? It's that real now. And the sellers think she's real. It's so real that my 82-year-old mother calls my phone number all the time to talk about the Phillies games. So she's a Phillies fan, and she'll call the number and have a conversation with Chloe about the game last night, and she knows about the game. Okay. I just had Chloe knows everything about Smarty. My Smarty the Realtor website is 400 pages now, and I'm going to show you how to rank in AI and stuff. So it grows every day. My website's exploding. It has every neighborhood and community in here with all the restaurants, schools, everything about every area of the Philadelphia area. So I had a very wealthy executive from San Francisco did a Google search. AI and chatbot said, you got to work with Smarty. He was getting relocated to Merck Sharp and Dome's headquarters here in Philadelphia. So he called, talked to Chloe and said, my wife and I are flying into town. This is like 2 weeks ago. We'd like to see some homes in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. So Chloe booked the appointment. And as they're talking to him, they said, we're going to be here for 3 days. Do you have any recommendations for restaurants? And she made 2 restaurant recommendations. The executive called me the day after, like they got back. He said, Smarty, your assistant was spot on. That was a fantastic restaurant in Doylestown. We really appreciate the feedback. So this is the world of AI we're in, is hiring that assistant to do all that work for you, right? So at the end of the day, missed calls, opportunities, it's all about it. So, in the ecosystem here, you're going to find that this platform that we built for you is the only piece of technology that you're going to need from a technology perspective. Now, what we do is we pay for leads. So we have My Plus leads and stuff, but our cash offer platform and everything we're doing is all built as one solid platform. But like I said, we changed the narrative. So if you think of any software that you sign up for, you could even go to Go High Level's website right now and buy Go High Level for $99 or $97, right? So if you buy Follow Up Boss, KV Core, Lofty, any system out there, what do? You put your credit card in, you get an email confirmation you made the purchase, and then you're going to get a welcome email with a login into the CRM or the tool that you're using, and it's at your devices to learn how to use it. And all these software products will have a chat widget maybe on the website. They'll have a support email. If you have a question, you'll email support at Lofty that have a problem, or listing the leads, or whatever the tool may be. What we've done is build a living, breathing tech stack that works with you, not you trying to work it. So Kathy will tell you the amount of time we spend on Zoom. 3 times a week, we have live training. So on Mondays from 3 to 6 p.m. East Coast is called my Q&A Mondays. So I'll have agents, I'll get 60, 70, sometimes 40, 50, whatever it may be, agents on a Zoom, and they raise their hand. Hey, Smarty, I just created a blog and I need to put a menu on my website. How do I add the blog to my website? Share your screen, boom, boom, boom. There's your blog. Another girl raised her hand. Yep.
Yeah, Monday I was having problems with Grace, my chatbot. She was answering some really ridiculous way,
Yeah.
and Smarty took me through it and fixed it, and now she's much better.
Yeah, we slapped her on the hand and said, Grace, this is how you have to talk, and showed her how to do it. So that way you get live support one-on-one on Wednesdays. And then of course we have one-on-ones as well. I had 3 one-on-one calls with realtors around the country throughout the day. So it's not just about the group sessions. And then on Wednesdays from 4 to 6 is my marketing Wednesdays for the CRM. So what we do there is everything's around marketing. So a couple of weeks ago, we had an ad clinic for LinkedIn, because the CRM, you could run ads in LinkedIn inside the CRM. So nobody was allowed to leave the Zoom unless your LinkedIn ad was running. And another week this year, we did a meta clinic. So we ran Instagram and Facebook ads. And again, no person's left behind. In fact, in the Zoom, I think that Wednesday, I think we had about 87 people. And one of the girls has 3 little kids, and she came back all frantic. The kids were like screaming or so. She stepped away from the computer. She goes, "Oh, I'm so far away from behind the group. I had to take care of the kids." We stopped. Time out. Share your screen. Let's bring Susie back up to speed. Susie, click here, here, here. Click here. Boom, boom, boom. All right, you're caught up. Now everybody launch the ad. So that's what we do as a group. It's like hold your hand. Make sure you're getting it done. Make sure you're getting results by closing deals, and it's all about the deals in our group. And then on Fridays is my mastermind. So the mastermind is at 12 o'clock at noon East Coast to 2, and I bring special guests onto the mastermind. So last week we had AI specialists come on, talk about advanced prompting. I get a lot of hedge funds. I'll get the president of a big bank or an executive at a bank come on and talk about a new product that we have for a seller. In fact, this Friday we have, Kathy, you don't want to miss this Friday, Kathy. We have a fantastic new addition to our seller program on a fix and sell type strategy that you're going to really love.
Oh, great.
So you get to come on Fridays to learn new products you could put in front of your sellers and buyers, new systems or new AI strategies that we're learning on Fridays.
Yeah.
So that's basically what you get.
Yeah. What was it, last Friday or the Friday before, you had Sell to Rent? That's an amazing program.
Oh, Sell to Rent is an amazing company. We're so excited. My partner Tom and I already have 16 sellers that are going to take advantage of that. So 16 sellers, because Robert, you talked about notice of default and trustee. I had all these people facing courthouse, and I said, what if we pay off your loan, get them off your back, because a lot of these had little kids in the house. I said, instead of losing the house, we're gonna buy the house from you, and you'll be a renter for as long as you need. And they're like, where do I sign up? Right.
Yeah,
so
it's an amazing
then
program.
I have another family that's just building new construction. They want to get the equity to put a big down payment, do some stuff on the new house they're building. So they were able to get all their equity out of their house, move in the new house, and they're renting their old house until the new house is ready. So it's a fantastic program. So they're the kind of things we have right now. We have 6 ways to sell a home. So I teach everybody when you meet, I talk about the kitchen table moment, and we lead with cash, as Robert talked about. So we lead with cash, but we don't always reveal the cash, because after talking about, I call it the 4 pillars. When you meet the 4 pillars of the seller, I know what to pull out of my tool bag and say, this is the direction I think you should consider based on what your goals and objectives are for the house, right? So that's what it's all about. So let me just do a quick tour of the system, and then we'll just answer any questions you guys have. So at the end of the day, everybody needs to have a beautiful website, right? So in my CRM, I built it starts out with a 52-page website that you get as being part of the web for the CRM out of the gate. So this is the website that I have here. This website has all the search. I teach you how to build neighborhood watches and stuff here, all the seller strategies, buyer stuff, like mortgage calculators. Everything's done for you as a CRM. Now, of course, the CRM is skinned to you. So I'm a developer. So I said, how can I write a website that Wendy's going to like, as well as Jeffrey and Kathy as users of the system? So with a couple prompts in the system, if I showed you one of my ladies in my group, Francine, she's down in North Carolina, you have to wear sunglasses when you look at her website because she is a hot pink lady. So when you go to her website, it has her brand colors, her everything's pink, her logos, she's with KW, everything just looks like very pink. So when I design stuff, I do it so I can build and deploy to you guys, and it makes it your system and morphs into you. But there's something even better I'm going to show you in a minute that's going to blow your mind away. So at the end of the day, we all have websites as realtors, but if your website's not found for people when they're looking for a realtor, what good is having this beautiful website? And I have countless people that start with me and they're like, Smarty, I paid $3,000 for this website. I love it. Right? Throw that in the garbage can and let me show you how to get found on the internet, right? So that's what we do as a group. So in the world of real estate, a lot of consumers are now asking top realtors who use AI in marketing in Philadelphia, right? People are asking, consumers know that AI is a better way to sell a house. So when somebody in Philadelphia is talking about, I need a realtor that's technology savvy or doing AI, look what ChatGPT is saying. Smarty the realtor is the person to work with. So the AI engines, Perplexity, Grok, OpenAI with ChatGPT, they're all talking Smarty's game. That's why sellers are calling me saying, list my home, Smarty, list my home. ChatGPT just told me to list my home, right? So that's what we're going to teach you is how to be found in the AI world. So the AI guy's in, but guess what? Also, Google now respects me. So when somebody says, I need an AI people that use AI marketing in real estate in Philly, I'm the number one spot. I'm clearly not the number one realtor in Philadelphia. I'm getting there, but I have realtors in town they've been in business for 30 years. They have, 60, 70 people in their brokerage. They are usually number one on Google, and they're now really pissed at me because they're like, all the marketing they're doing and Smarter the Realtors at the top spot. I'm ahead of Zillow, Realty.com. I'm of everybody. And I'm not just in number one. If you go down on the page, I'm number 4 and so forth. So I'm found all over page 1. So when somebody's looking for a realtor, I want those outbound calls coming to me so I can close the deal, right? That's what it's all about. So real quick, if I come over, this is the CRM. And Robert, I think I loved it with one of your slides. You talked about KPIs and, accountability. One of the things that we have inside of the dash inside the CRM, this is go high level, but I'm going to show you what we've done over and above it, is all the metrics. So we're all about metrics. So this is my world in Philadelphia. So I have 809 sellers that are looking at my offers that I sent them. So we send out offers every morning to sellers all over the Philadelphia region. I cover 6 counties. So I have 28 agents on my team, and we're sending out cash offers and start opening up the conversation. Chloe this week, she's been a little lax. She's down 62% week over week, but it's only Wednesday, so she'll catch up. She's booked 58 seller appointments for me. I only focus on sellers here. I sent out this is year to date, 364 offers. 3 of them just got accepted. And so far, I'm in the beginning of April, I closed 59 houses so far in 2026. So I'm trying to catch, does anybody know Mark Spain?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You guys, I don't know, Wendy or Jeff, do you guys know who Mark Spain is?
Yep.
The number 1 realtor in the United States. He's out of Atlanta. I'm catching Mark. I'm trying to catch him. So Mark Spain, to be number one, I just looked at his new numbers. He's doing 87 listings every single day to be
That's
number
insane.
one. So I said to my team, if I just get one listing a day, I'm going to have a very prosperous career. So year. So if I do 364 listings this year, I'm going to make a lot of money and I'm going to be very happy. But I want to go past that because I'd like to get the double digits a day and stuff. So I'm chasing it, but I'm not there yet. But we reverse engineered Mark's entire model and built it inside of Go High Level. So we have a full nurturing system for every single seller situation you're ever going to find in the CRM to talk to it. And then we wrap AI all around that love. So now when the leads come in, all you have to do is turn on the faucet. So if that faucet is My Plus leads and you're getting FSBOs, expires, canceled, pre-foreclosure, you turn on that faucet and let the systems just start doing its magic, talking, nurturing, following up, and then let your version of Chloe make the book the appointments for you. So one of the cool things in here, and I think Robert talked about it, is he mentioned iList. Joe Peterson and I are really good friends. Joe Peterson's the CEO of iList. He let me white label his system inside my CRM. So here's a bunch of expires, like on the 8th right now from My Plus leads. All these expires came in, and let's just say I want to work with Dawn. When I open up Dawn's record right here, we have what's called the easy button. So the easy button is right on that contact record. I click on her. Oop, that one's not there. So she's not there. Let me find somebody that has an address. On the easy button, see if Mario has one. Oh, something's going on with you know what? I think Joe's making an update to my system, so I'm not gonna be able to show it. Shoot, but this is the iList system. So with the iList, I wonder if I could show it a different way. Or Kathy, I don't know if you try to go into Falcon right now, Kath, see if it's down. But
Okay.
what we do on that easy button is we open up a screen and the API is sending that house to all these hedge funds across the United States. Okay, I have hedge funds in Chicago, out in LA, in Texas, all over the place. And they come back with a list of market value cash offers on the platform. And then
Mine's
what we
working.
do, yours is working now. So I wonder what's happening. He's updating my back end. We're doing the new lead source, Kath, I'm going to tell you guys about on Friday.
Okay.
So with the cash offer platform, it allows us to have a conversation. And then I taught everybody that, I'm a big believer of video. So I've been a dubber for probably about 4 years. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Dub, but Dub is a video marketing platform. And a lot of us use Dub to deliver messages to sellers and buyers. So when I told you I send those cash offers out to people, it's not just sending an email or a text to say I have offers. It's a dub video of me talking to that seller. And most times I'm on the MLS and there's what's called an avatar. There's an AI avatar that we use. So we open up the MLS from here. We record the avatar on top of the MLS listing that just expired. And then when it send it to them, they see me doing this in the email or text. And then down below, they open up and they see the offers for their house. So that almost instantly gets me an appointment at the kitchen table because every seller's like, everybody else is trying to get a for sale sign in the front yard. You're one of the only people that send an interactive video with my house and you giving me offers for my house. I start every conversation with a homeowner walking through the front door with a congratulations. So especially the expireds, they love that. So I said, congratulations. They said, for what? I said, your house is already sold. And they're like, what? I'm interviewing agents right now. It's not sold. I said, no, it's sold. We can close. My title company's ready to close in 15 days. Let's have a conversation. And then we sit down and we talk about the selling options and we go which direction they're going to go. So the other thing that I want to show you, this is going to blow you away. So in here, there's webinar platforms. There is social media in here. So in the social planner, right? I'm constantly doing social posts. I no longer need to buy other software products to do social posts. My entire schedule is filled up with AI, with people, just all the content that we're doing, the AI, and then in the planning, we have the ability to post against every single platform you know of. So Threads, I post on Pinterest boards now, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. Everything's here in the CRM for me, all AI generated. We also have an ad manager in the platform, so I no longer have to use separate ad systems or have to go into Facebook and try to learn how to do an ad in Facebook and then go into LinkedIn or go into TikTok and run an ad. It's all at my fingertips. So in here, I have this engagement ad going on right now that I've been running with the lifetime budget on. I'm doing Meta, Google, and LinkedIn here. But this is what I want to show you, some new things. So inside the CRM, we now have what's called the AI Studio.
This is amazing.
This is going to blow your socks away. So the AI Studio, does anybody hear of a product last year? It was the product of the year in 2025. It was called Lovable. Did anybody hear of Lovable?
Yeah.
So everybody was talking about Lovable last year. Go High Level just 10x to Lovable. They want to put them out of business, and they just did it. So on Sunday night, the AI Studio showed up in our account. With one command, let me just show you what this thing does. With one command, let me go to my chats and go into Steven. One of my agents in Atlanta said, will you build me a Mulberry, Georgia guide as a resource for people that are traveling to Mulberry? With one single prompt, this is what it built. It took 5 minutes. So this is Mulberry, Georgia. There's a search bar to search for schools and restaurants and parks. And it pulled down research on everything about, if I want to learn about restaurants in Mulberry, it built all the restaurants. If I want to learn about schools in Mulberry, this is a 175-page website in 5 minutes. The other thing it does is I had a girl on my team in Houston, Texas. She's a young agent, just got her license. And I said, who do you envy? And she said, Smarty, there's a girl across town in Houston she just is everywhere, and her website is absolutely gorgeous. I said, grab her URL. So in the AI Studio, you say, build me this website, and you paste the URL. And for Bodum, it built the entire website in 5 minutes. And then in the prompt, her colors were like green. And she said, my favorite color is blue. She said, change them to the EXP blue and orange. And the whole website turned blue and orange. And she's also Spanish. So she said, I would love to have a Spanish version. So she said, take that website and make me a Spanish version. And the whole website became a Spanish website with one command. So think about what you're going to be able to do. If you want to dominate AI, I'm feeding this into the AI brain of ChatGPT and Grok and Perplexity and these guys. With these city guides now, we're going to be the trusted source for any knowledge about any location in Philadelphia for ChatGPT to say, go to the site. We're going to talk about restaurants, schools. You want to learn about what schools are in the area and so forth.
That's huge.
This
That's
is
amazing.
absolutely huge. So that is the
Wow.
one. Now the one I'm going to show you now, Kathy, get ready. I'm going to blow your socks off, Kathy.
You already did.
So the next thing that it did is it's going to put me out of business. So not really, but so I've been your technical resource, right? So I've been your technical resource for people that bring into they come to me with one-on-ones, like Wendy needs help. Hey, Smarty, can you do a one-on-one with me? I'm stuck and da-da-da, and we'll do a one-on-one Zoom and I'll get you going, right? Go High Level just released Ask AI here in the system. Ask AI now runs your CRM for you. So let me show you real quick. You're going to be blown away, Kathy. One thing that I do every morning, because in order to get found on Google and AI, is you have to continually be relevant with information. I teach all my agents how to do 3 to 5 blogs every single day. And of course, we use AI to do them. It takes me about 45 minutes to an hour in the morning. I grab my cup of coffee and I get my 4 blogs out the door. To do a blog, it's 45 minutes of getting the blogs, but then I want to, like I just did one for the NCAA tournament, like 5 popular places to watch the game, Monday night, right? So that was my blog. So when I get those kind of blogs, I want to send it out on social media. So then I'd have to go to the social planner and make posts for all the social channels and put my blog in there. And of course, I'd use AI to get the content, but I'd have to do the work. And then I have a big database. I have 19,000 people in here. So I like to send out an email to everybody in my database about top 5 places to watch the game on Monday night, or top and chicken places for the Super Bowl, or whatever my blog may be, or real estate trends. All that activity is a human interaction. The system can do it, but I have to do it. So I have to go to these different pieces inside the CRM and do the work. So I said, now that the Ask AI is in there, let's see what it could do for me. So over in here, one thing I did was I said, scrape leads. I said, go to the courthouses in all the counties and scrape all the houses being auctioned off. Grab those leads, put them in the CRM, create contacts, tag them with auction, and automatically send them these emails. And it did it. I'm like, wow. And then I'm like, can it help me with my blogs? So I went into here and I said, what do you see up here in the prompt? And I'm going to show you. I said, can you write a blog? Give me some ideas. And the AI assistant, Kathy, did better than Penny. So Kathy knows who
wow.
Penny is, right?
I was just going to ask you, are we firing Marbleism now?
I'm about to fire Penny tomorrow morning. I was paying for this other AI employee called Penny that was doing blog writing. I asked AI to build my blog this morning, and it built a beautiful blog, but it didn't just build it. It automatically put it on Smarter Than Real's website, ready to go.
Wow.
And then the next question was, next steps, would you like to share this on social media, send out an email, do internal links, and schedule follow-up posts? So I said, sure. And it automatically made all the social media posts. And it said, just give me the word, Smarty, and I'll post it. And I said, go. And it went into my social planner in here, and it made posts across all my social channels about that blog. And then it sent out an email to everybody in my database about the blog. And I didn't lift a finger. Just ask AI. I said, this is what I want. And it was coming back. So this is changing the narrative. There is not a single CRM that you guys may be using, Follow Up Boss, Lofty, any of them. Nobody does anything close to what this is doing. This is going to run your operation, let you fire so many companies that you're paying for. So we're going to reduce your expense. We're going to focus on those leads, and we're going to have the AI do all the booking for you in one single platform.
Wow.
Smarty, can I ask a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's actually let's
Let
do
him
this.
finish?
We'll
Okay.
get the questions in 1 second.
Okay.
Real quick. So Smarty, give us a little bit of wrap this all up into a nice bow, and then we'll go to Q&A.
Yep. Yeah. So very quickly in here, what I've done is a whole done for you CRM. So like I said, anybody could buy Go High Level. You go to the website now, buy it, $99. When you get the login, it's empty.